How's it going, guys? I know it's been a while, but I can explain. Video off is kind of a short explanation video as to where I've been, what's going on with the channel. I said I would be posting weekly and I haven't. So I just want to talk on that briefly. So the last time that we discussed anything was on the 38-gallon build. The last thing that I did was, I believe I put the Vortec pump on that. Since then, there has actually been a catastrophic failure that happened at my apartment. My RO unit seemed to have malfunctioned. I know a lot of you have probably been there and probably are divorced because of it. Unfortunately, it happened to me. So just giving a backstory, basically what happened is I got a new job. I started training. I was training about an hour away from where I live. Well, one morning I needed RODI water, so I started the machine, went about my day while I made water. Well, I left, completely forgot to shut the machine off. I'm an hour away, halfway through the day at work, and I get a call from my landlord saying, "You need to get home right away or we are going to enter your apartment." We got home as soon as we possibly could. Upon getting home, I discovered about 2 inches of water throughout my entire apartment. And the worst part is, I'm on a second floor, which means the person below me experienced a lot worse. So I got home, got the RODI unit shut off. Buckets are overflowing. My mixing station's completely overflooded, and there is this water everywhere. My carpet is soaked, my wood floor is soaked, everything is soaked. So I actually went downstairs to see my neighbor, and her ceiling was actually holding water to the point where it was dripping, it was coming through, her floor was covered in water, and it was just a massive mess. The first thing I started doing was apologizing, cleaning up as much as I possibly could, as fast as I could. I tried to, fans, mopping, towels, anything I could get my hands on to clean up this water, I was simply doing it. Luckily, we already had a maintenance guy for the local complex. He was able to get here very quickly, where he had industrial dehumidifiers and industrial fans. He brought them into our apartments and he was able to soak everything up very well. After all this was said and done, my landlord, of course, was very angry, very understandable. I can get that. But she wanted both of my tanks gone by 8 a.m. the next morning. So that's what we had to do. After that, the 38-gallon was torn down. The fish were donated to a local fish store. So both tanks were gone, and I wasn't allowed to have any more until recently. So just like most college kids, it came time to re-sign leases, and at this point I'm looking for a place to move. So I want to go and talk to my landlord and kind of discuss with her, what happened and if I would ever be able to have another tank, because that is a very crucial part of me living. I find aquariums very relaxing. I enjoy taking care of coral. It's just so calming to me, and it's a very simple hobby. It's not as crazy as a dog, maybe more expensive than a dog, but it's just something I find very relaxing, so I love to do it. And I tried to express that to her. After a lot of discussing everything, she finally agreed to let me have tanks. But she would only allow me to have up to 30 gallons, and the worst part about it is it could not have a sump. So all of the water can only come out of the tank into like a hang on the back system, like this one behind me. That's all I can have. So I didn't want that to stop me. So a lot of my tanks from here on out are going to be all-in-one. I'm completely okay with that. I've seen a lot of successful all-in-one tanks. A lot of big name manufacturers make all-in-one tanks. I know Red Sea, they make amazing tanks. Innovative Marine, they make a lot of amazing all-in-one tanks. So I'm not very worried about it. Now, not all of those tanks are exactly what I want. So here's where I have to be creative. This whole thing from here on out is gonna have to be me getting creative. But for right now, this is the type of system that I'm gonna be running. And I'll explain to you in the next video where this tank came from. There's actually a bit of a story behind it and why I have it. It was a very quick judgment decision. It was more along the lines of a rescue. But aside from that, I am very, very excited to tell you guys that the channel is coming back. I will be posting. This tank behind me is just the start. I am gonna have my 5-gallon back. I plan to set it up. I also have a couple other tanks that is coming in the future, and we're gonna make them work. They're gonna be 30 gallons is the max that I can have here, but I'm okay with that. I can have as many as I want. The RODI system unit situation is kind of on the line at the moment. I'm currently purchasing water from a local fish store that is RODI, and it seems to be doing just fine in this tank behind me. So for right now, we have to stick with that. Completely understand. But also want to point out and just make a quick statement. Always have renter's insurance if you guys are renting. You will absolutely be grateful for yourself, especially if you have aquariums. You never know when something's going to happen, and unfortunately it happened to me when I was an hour away. Not sure how long this video is by now, but you know, if you guys watched it and you stuck all the way to the end, thank you so much. And you know, stuff happens. The next video is going to be more talking about the tank behind me, and you'll get to see what we're going to do in the future. So thank you guys, and remember to subscribe and like the video. And sorry again for this long video, but it is a good explanation and kind of a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, and I hope that will prevent you guys from having to go through as well. Thank you.